You come into this, or I guess we might as well start with your how are you feeling, and what was it like having to sort of watch that last game?
Yeah, feeling a lot better. Just a little injury, so nothing too bad. Watching it is, you get more nervous to watch than to play in it. So it was definitely nervous watching, but the guys obviously had a great game and got the result. And now we have a couple weeks to get everyone healthy and get ready for LAFC because it's going to be a tough game, but feeling good.
If you had to get, did you think you would have been ready if there was a game 3, or?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I would have been.
So you're now fully all in, I guess.
Yep, fully back yesterday. So yeah, feeling good.
So looking at LAFC, this is a team that has obviously knocked you guys out of a few tournaments recently.
Yeah.
You guys struggled with this year. I guess, do you use those games, or do you try to just start fresh?
I think a little bit of both. We have to know, obviously, what they're good at. They're so dangerous in attack. They're able to counter really well. They're really good defensively as well. And I think what we need to learn from is, obviously, believing that we can play against them. I think sometimes going to these games when you haven't beat a team in a while, maybe, the belief might not be there, but we know how good we are. And I think it starts with that, just believing and understanding the team that we have, the group that we have, and knowing that we can compete with anyone in this league. So that's, first and foremost. And then, we try to learn from what we did, what we did in the games in the past, and take that into these 3 weeks and try to put together a good game plan to play against them. So.
You in particular were, talked a lot at the beginning of the season about last season and the opportunity that you did have to score against them. Has that kind of come back around, that, those kind of replaying that moment at all with last season? No. You put that in the past and move on to this year. That was almost a year ago, so I don't really think about that anymore.
LAFC has outscored you guys 9-1 this year. What is it that they do defensively to just eliminate or limit you guys the way they do?
Yeah, I think, they're really good. I think what we've struggled with against them is giving up early goals. Maybe not in the Open Cup game, but other games we kind of give up some early goals, and then they're good at, obviously, kind of playing in a low block and countering from there. That's something that they're really good at as a team. So I think they make it tough for us once they get up early, and I think it's then difficult for any team to break down a low block. But and then they have the weapons to counter from there. So that's something that we need to focus on, is starting the game out strong and coming out on the front foot, because once they are protecting a lead, it's hard to beat them.
What about you specifically? What is it that maybe you need to do better against that 3 big guys in the back that they have?
I don't know. I think try to open up space for other people. That's continuing to try to do what I do, which is getting behind teams and also being good in build up, linking, trying to come underneath, bring other people into the game. But I think trying to open up space for my teammates is something I'm gonna be focused on in this game.
A lot of these big recent elimination games to them have been on the home setting. Starflyer, Lumen. Does going down there and playing away do anything? Is it an advantage? How do you view the kind of the changing scenery, at least, of another one of these?
Yeah, maybe it's good to change the scenery a little bit. I think we're a good team on the road. I think we're good as a team that can sit a little bit deeper too and then counter. We have the ability, the weapons to do that. So if that's what the game plan calls for, I think that's something that we can do, and maybe that's a little bit more what you do on the road. You look at when we went to Columbus, obviously, I know things were with the red card, but even before that, I thought we were doing a really good job of sitting in a little bit deeper and countering from there, creating a lot of dangerous opportunities. So maybe playing on the road will allow for that a little bit more, and but I think it'll be obviously, like you said, a lot of losses at home, which is frustrating. Maybe a change of scenery will help us out a little bit.
What do you remember from the 2019 run there?
That's a good point. We should have confidence going into this, that we've been there before in this setting, and that we came out with a win. So it was an amazing game. Obviously led to an MLS Cup. They were the favorites to win it that year, I think. So to go in there and beat them, and again, just have that belief, have that confidence that you can go in and beat a team like LAFC. We know the like I said, we know the challenge they're going to provide, but just having that belief and confidence is something we can take from 2019.
I know that
Let's go,
Brad,
Rich.
or I remember Brad getting doused a lot with beer and then the can getting thrown at you. Did you escape that kind of?
Oh, after the game?
Yeah, I think it was.
Um,
actually, I think on the corner kick.
Oh,
Brad.
okay. I think I escaped that. Yeah, yeah. But I guess that's a good thing because it probably means you're winning the game, right? So maybe a little bit more of that. I experienced that against Galaxy, I think, my rookie year. So yeah, it means you're doing something right, which is good.
Maybe a little bit of a outside the norm question, but this team now has something like half the roster are guys that came through the developmental system here. I don't know. Do you take any extra pride in that, or what is that? How does that sort of inform the sort of the culture of the team?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, guys that have been around the academy, grown up being fans of the club, understand what it means to play for this. Play for this club and represent the city. I think it's really cool. Obviously, having been one of those players, I have that feeling, and I know guys grow up training next to the first team, hoping that they're on the field someday. So to see a lot of the guys come through and be successful, and not only be on the team but be a big part of the team, is something that's really exciting and definitely something I'm proud of. When I first came, there were some, but weren't quite as many. But now you look out training and look out on game day. There's a ton of academy alums coming up and helping and producing and doing great things. So yeah, as a fellow one of those, it's definitely something that I'm proud of.
It is. In the barbershop, having Josh come in and cut hair. Do you do that as far as having him do your hair here?
I don't, but he does a great job, and again, another kind of cool local connection, right? So yeah, it's something that's special about the club, but I need to get in there with him because he does a great
do you
job.
not trust him? Or?
No, I just go to someone else, but
yeah.
but I've had my own guy for a while, but he does a great job. So yeah.
You guys, is it for playoffs? Obviously Albert did his hair. Is that a thing for you to kind of get freshened up for a big playoff game or big games?
Nothing crazy like that. I mean, every once in a while. I did the blonde hair. Was it last year maybe? So every once in a while, but just a
not that dramatic. Just
a haircut.
Up.
For sure before the game. My wife wants me to get rid of this beard, so I'm sure that's gonna be gone soon. But yeah, just a haircut before the game. Probably.
Yeah. Does that help?
They say look good, play good, right? So I guess maybe it helps, but just something that's kind of been something that the players do. So yeah.
One thing I remember about the 2019 group was that you guys had that mentality of we're the underdog, we got the chip on our shoulder.
Yeah.
I remember Javi going in and just hitting Carlos Vela right off the first bat. Like, do you guys have that mentality, and how important is to set that tempo right off the bat?
Yeah, really important. I think we need to have that same mentality. Obviously, them being the number one seed, them having beaten us the last few games, we need to have maybe that little bit of that underdog mentality, that chip on our shoulder that we're going to come in and. It all starts with effort. It's all in games like this. They're not always the prettiest. They're not always obviously the best soccer, but it comes down to work rate, working hard, and yeah, I think setting the tone. I remember those tackles that Javi had to. It set the tone and got the group going. Putting the tackling on their best player. So I think having a similar mentality like that will be important heading into this one.